Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Township Committee meeting of July the 9th of 2019. Ms. Bork, will you please call the roll?
Committeewoman Holmes.
Here.
Committeeman Lapani.
Here.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Here.
Mayor Delcourt.
Here.
Administrator Ferreira. And Attorney Willard.
Here. Please join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be advised that in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, that notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on July the 9th of 2019. Before we begin the business of our meeting tonight, I'd like to initiate a moment of silence for Mayor Tony Godowski, who passed away on July the 3rd last week after retiring from Hillsborough and moving on to Delaware. Mayor Godowski served Hillsborough Township from 2002 through 2004 and was mayor in 2003. He was most recently a senior marine terminal operations representative at the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, a graduate of St. John University with a BS in Business Administration. He was recently honored in 2018 for his public service, for his public support of the Somerset Patriots Ballpark at their 20th season celebration. In 2003, he received the County Municipal Open Space Partnership Award during his term as Hillsborough Mayor. I would ask that you please take a moment of silence in memory of former Mayor Tony Godowski. Thank you. First up on our agenda this evening, we have approval of minutes. The first session is the May 28th, 2019 Township Committee meeting minutes. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes.
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor Delcourt.
Yes. We'll move to reports from committee liaisons. First up is Committeewoman McCauley.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Just a few things for me from Police and Office of Emergency Management tonight. Wirtsville Road, there will be a detour. There's a resolution later on the agenda authorizing this detour. Wirtsville Road between Long Hill Road and Montgomery Road is due to be repaved this year. However, as part of the Somerset County Bridge Replacement Project, there is a need to close a portion of Wirtsville Road and Montgomery Road to through traffic to ensure completion of the bridge replacement and to keep the paving along Long Hill on schedule. The Assistant Township Engineer recommends the closure of portions of Wirtsville Road and Montgomery to through traffic until approximately September 6th. This detour will be put into place. I believe it's scheduled to start August 5th. So please follow the detour directions. Distracted driving is against the law. Chief Darren Powell would like to remind residents and drivers in and around Hillsborough that distracted driving can be critical and deadly. The Hillsborough Township Police Department is participating in a distracted driving campaign for the months of July and August in an effort to raise awareness and decrease driver distraction through a combination of enforcement and education. The nearly 500,000 people injured each year will agree. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic here in New Jersey and on its roadways, being as a major contributing factor in nearly 800,000 motor vehicle crashes in the state between 2012 and 16. Nationwide, 3,166 people were killed in distracting driving crashes in 2017 alone. So it is critical to be sure you know that the rules of the road, no texting, no phone calls if possible, while you are on the road. I've been a recipient of that car accident when someone was texting and crossing over Route 206. I know the impact of it and can certainly do some serious damage and also cause death. So please be aware that we are trying to put some rules and regulations out there just to make you more aware through July and August of this year. Also, Coffee with a Cop is going to be over at Starbucks. It's the second annual Coffee with a Cop on Tuesday, July 23rd, from 4 to 6 p.m. The rain date will be Wednesday on July 24th. So please, if you get a chance, stop by Starbucks and grab a cup of coffee and meet some of our local police officers. You can chat with them and get to know them on a personal basis. So that's it for me this evening, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Committeeman Lapani.
Thank you, Mayor. From the building department, obviously, summer is here, which means it's prime time again to do work around the house. Some of that work may require a permit, so it's best to stop by or call the building department so we can help you guide with all your permitting needs. From the engineering department, has been advised by Public Service Electric and Gas Company they will be trimming trees as part of the vegetation management work in town. In order to maintain electric service to consumers through New Jersey, proper tree clearing for power lines is necessary. PSA&G will trim all trees under the major power lines running through the township. According to the notice, any tree over 3 feet in height in the wire zone will be removed. Vegetation in the major wire zones will be managed to promote grasses and low-growing plants. Davy Tree Experts will be the private contractor working for Public Service Electric and Gas. From the Finance Department, the third quarter estimated tax bills will be mailed out the week of July 15th. If you earned a Shop Hillsborough credit, the amount due for August 1st will reflect a reduction for those credits earned in the past year. And from the Business Advocate, registration for Hillsborough restaurateurs is open to participate in the second annual Hillsborough Restaurant Week, beginning Tuesday, August 20th, running through Sunday, August 25th. Go to hillsboroughbusiness.org to register, and I would encourage all the local residents to participate and support our restaurants during that week. It's a great time. They usually have some good specials, and it's a great way to show support to our local businesses from a personal standpoint. On June 29th, representatives from Hillsborough Township manned a table at the Family Fun Music Fest to support local businesses participating in the Shop Hillsborough Reward Program last week. Homeowners, renters, and visitors were encouraged to sign up for this free program, and participants were reminded that to present their Shop Hillsborough card to participating merchants at the time of purchase to receive proper tax credits, as noted by the finance report just prior, to have it applied to your property tax bill. Participants need not to be Hillsborough taxpayers, as their option to receive a rebate check in lieu of tax credits. So if you're not from Hillsborough, you can still participate. For more information about the Shop Hillsborough Reward Program, please visit the website at www.hillsborough-nj.org. And just a public service announcement, the Rotary Club is reminding you that once again, our fair is scheduled for August 13th to the 17th. And any local businesses with a wanting to showcase their business can reserve a tent to display their company's information. You can contact Rotary directly, and if you can't, you can always email me because I will get it there. It's slapani@hillsboroughNJ.org, and I will advance that information to you. Over 15,000 attendees of all ages from Hillsborough and surrounding communities attended the 5-day event over the past years. It is on the Hillsborough Promenade, which is the Lowe's parking lot on Route 206, 315 Route 206. Again, if you'd like to sign up for the Rotary Fair tent, you can contact Ken Jenko directly at 908-229-5045 or kgenco@att.net or Anthony Francini at 908-334-9304, and his email is anthony.francini, Franchini, @td.com, or myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Committeewoman Holmes.
Thank you, Mayor. I attended the Sourland Mountain Festival. It's a fundraiser for our Sourlands. There was amazing music, there was incredible food, and they have it every year in the summer. And it was really a great time, and I encourage you next year to try to put it on your calendar and go. It was a wonderful, wonderful evening, and they really get some fabulous entertainment in there. It's at the golf course on Wartsville Road. And the other thing I have is census. They're hiring for people to come around and count how many people we have in our town. Earn extra income while helping your community. The U.S. Census Bureau is recruiting thousands of people across the country to assist with the 2020 census count. They are hiring for a variety of temporary jobs, including census takers, recruiting assistants, office staff, and supervisory staff. Eligible candidates must be at least 18 years of age, have a valid Social Security number, and be a U.S. citizen. Visit their website at 2020census.gov/jobs for more information and to apply. And maybe eventually we'll know when they'll start doing that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. First, I want to remind everyone about Camp Joy, so attention all the Hillsborough senior citizens. If you're looking for something fun to do this summer, then you can join the JOI, or Just Older Youth Camp. You will be enjoying a free breakfast every morning courtesy of the Hillsborough Rotary Club, followed by a trip to a local venue. We will have limited space, so you can have to act fast. For more information on the camp, please visit our senior social services office or call 908-369-4832. Registration is also open for the 2019 fall soccer season. We offer leagues for children ages 3 to grade 12. All games are held on Saturdays at various soccer fields here in town. New this season, the Hillsborough Parks and Recreation is proud to announce a partnership with Apex Sports and Events beginning this fall, which will provide select age groups an opportunity to train and scrimmage on turf fields. Register today to guarantee your child's enrollment in our league. The registration deadline is August 16th. As always, coaches are also needed for that, so if you are an individual who would like to coach, please contact us as well. New this year, we are also excited to offer a girls' fall softball league. Fall softball is open to all girls entering 1st through 8th grade. A fall season will consist of 1 practice a week and 1 game a week for an easy, fun, and low-key experience. Practices begin the week of September 9th, and opening day is on Saturday, September 14th. Registration is open on our website, hillsboroughNJRecreation.org, and register today to guarantee your child's enrollment in this league. The deadline for that is August 29th, and again, coaches are needed, so if you're interested, please let us know. To celebrate the sport of softball, the Hillsborough Recreation Department will be sponsoring Y Softball, a softball expo event run by Katie Regal as part of her Girl Scout Gold Award. The Y Softball Expo will be held at Ann Vans Middleworth Park on Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The expo will feature fun activities to teach about the sport of softball and the benefits of continuing to play. Katie plays for the Hillsborough High School varsity team and Top Gun 18U Gold Fast Pitch, and coaches and players from both organizations will be helping run the stations that day. Please note there will be skills taught at the camp, but it is not a true softball skills camp. The expo will showcase the sport and show activities to encourage involvement in softball. The expo is free and advanced registration is required, so again, visit hillsboroughNJRecreation.org. The Seniors Farmers Market Nutrition Program, or SFMNP, promotes nutritional health among New Jersey senior citizens by providing them with local grown fresh fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Participants in the program must be at least 60 years old and meet the federal income guideline requirements. Hillsborough seniors who believe they are eligible to participate should contact the Hillsborough Community Assistance Network to inquire, or our social services network. And food safety at home, just a reminder that in this season of barbecues, weddings, and family gatherings, unless food is handled safely, you may become sick from foodborne illnesses. Every year, thousands of people become ill from food that they eat, prepared by themselves, a family member, or a friend. Certain people are more vulnerable to foodborne illnesses than others. Pregnant women, young children, the elderly, and those who have immune systems compromised by chronic disease and other health conditions are the most at risk for serious illness. By following a few safe food handling steps, you can greatly reduce the risk of becoming ill from those foods prepared at home. There are several ways to reduce your risk of foodborne illnesses. They involve preventing cross-contamination, observing proper cooking temperatures, hot holding temperatures, and cold holding temperatures, as well as practicing safe thawing of frozen food. You can see more information on our website. And last from me, Mayor, calling all Hillsborough farmers, the Hillsborough Township has created a Hillsborough Harvest, a campaign promoting the value of Hillsborough farms and local products. Participating farms will be featuring on the Hillsborough Harvest page on hillsboroughbusiness.org, where they can advertise their local products and events for free. You can contact David Coyce, who's here in the room, our business advocate and sustainability director at 908-369-4313, extension 7106, or dcoyce@hillsborough-nj.org. To participate, residents and visitors can also visit hillsboroughbusiness.org and click on the Hillsborough Harvest icon for participating farms' upcoming events. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, a couple items from me tonight, more than a couple maybe. So I'd like to first off thank Hillsborough Elementary School for inviting a number of us, Deputy Mayor Thompson, Committeeman Lapani, Chief Powell, and myself to participate in their annual Flag Day ceremony. That was on June the 14th. It's one of my favorites. I've been going for, I think, all 12 years I've been on this committee, and it's a really nice patriotic ceremony that the school puts on. The kids are all dressed in red, white, and blue. They sing their flag songs and invite a bunch of veterans in to talk about what the flag means to them. So it's always a great day, and I appreciate them allowing us to participate. I'd like to thank the Economic and Business Development Commission, David Coyce, our business advocate, and the Hillsborough Business Association for their last HBA networking social, which was held at Roycebrook Country Club. Very successful event. We had memory expert Matthew Gorky as the guest speaker, giving tips and programs on how to improve memory, especially as you meet people, something that I think all of us on the dais can appreciate, but I think the business community appreciated it as well. And it is a great opportunity. Those HBA events are really for the business community to allow them to network and develop business amongst themselves, but also to work with some of the township officials on things that are important to their business. So thanks to all that participated, and the EBDC and the HBA for putting that together. On June the 29th, we had a pretty eventful day. Started out, if you haven't seen, in the back of the building outside of the police department, we had Eagle Scout Jack Schwark, who was soon to be an Eagle Scout. His Eagle Scout project, he constructed a garden, police monument, and benches out in the grass field just behind the police department in the back area there. They put in plantings. There's a beautiful granite stone that's there that is where the monument is attached to, and it's really took an area that was a bit of a wasteland and turned it into a tremendous dedication area for brave men and women in the police department. So thank you to Jack for his work on that Eagle project, and it was a great pleasure to be able to open that up on that morning. We also had on June the 29th, Deputy Mayor Thompson and Committeewoman Holmes and myself attended the Code Ninja grand opening. For those of you that are unaware, it's a small business over in Hillsborough Center, where they basically, it's a retail establishment where they teach kids a program of computer coding and problem solving, utilizing sort of a martial arts type of format where it's multiple levels of success using, starting out and achieving different levels of belts. They had a huge turnout. It's for kids ages 7 to 14. They've already got a number of kids that are really interested, and one of the things they're really trying to promote is STEM, not just for kids, but in particular for young girls. So a really interesting program. Anyone that wants to know more about it for their kids, it's codeninjas.com is the website, or it's right over by next to Chipotle over at Hillsborough Center. And then, of course, we also had our fireworks and music festival on the night of the 29th. Despite some touchy weather in the afternoon, the evening turned out to be quite nice, and we combined this year our fireworks, family fun, and the music fest. The event showcased a lot of local talent, food vendors, and also businesses. And I really want to just thank everyone that had a hand in making that great success. We always have those tremendous fireworks to cap off the evening, and they didn't disappoint once again this year. Some upcoming events that we have. Somerset Patriots Hillsborough Community Night. It's the last call really to get your tickets for this event, which is going to be next Saturday, July the 13th at the Somerset Patriots Stadium. If you have an interest in going, you can buy tickets directly on the group portal, somersetpatriots.com/tickets/group portal, and then you can go to the group portal, log in, and it's password borough. We can get you that information for anyone that needs. So come out and get your discounted tickets. And there is a rumor that I may be throwing out the first pitch. More than a rumor. I probably will. So look forward to that. It'll be a lot of fun. So I think we have a pretty good turnout already scheduled to go. I hope you can join us that evening. We also have our fishing derby and camp out coming up. That's usually the first Friday in August, and that will continue Friday, August 2nd at Ann Van Middlesworth Park. It's our annual family camp out and fishing derby. It's $10 per person. Advance registration is required because we do provide food both for dinner and breakfast the next day. So the registration includes dinner, camping games. There'll be a movie under the stars on the baseball field, and then breakfast the next day. So if you'd like to come, if you haven't, if you got young kids that like to camp, you haven't had a chance to come out. It's a lot of fun and a nice community event. HillsboroughNJRecreation.org if you want to register. Then on August the 7th at 6 p.m. we will have our annual Purple Heart ceremony at the Garden of Honor. If you've visited the Garden of Honor, you know that we do have a Purple Heart monument. Hillsborough is one of the few Purple Heart communities in the state, and it's an opportunity for us to have that ceremony to honor those Purple Heart recipients and in honor of the Military Order of the Purple Heart. So we welcome all residents to come out and join us. That's August 7th, 6 p.m. at the Garden of Honor. And then quickly, a road paving update. Just want to give everyone a heads up on some of the things that are upcoming. We've completed a few roads. The next group of roads that are going to be done, contractors have finished all the ADA ramp work that's on Raider Boulevard, and the ramp work and curb replacements will be completed, will be starting tomorrow on South Triangle and on Cardinal Lane. Once the concrete work is done for both the ramps and the curbing, we expect to start repaving those three roads, being Raider Boulevard, South Triangle, and Cardinal sometime the last week of July. So that should take a couple weeks to get those roads completed, but looking forward to having those done. And then also the week of July the 15th, our contractor has to install an underground pipe system along part of Beekman Lane as a result of the high groundwater under that road, that if it's not addressed will impact the paving that we're trying to do there. Once that pipe work is completed, then the balance of Beekman Lane, which was not completed last year, will be repaved, and we expect that to happen sometime during the month of August. So some pretty good progress there on the road paving projects, and I look forward to getting those done over the next couple of months. And speaking of road paving, we have a road project actually that has been in the works for some time. That's Brown Avenue, which would essentially connect Route 206 and Roycefield Road. In the state budget this year, there was a DOT grant that was included in that process, about $500,000 to help fund that road. I think any of us that are involved in local government know that there's always an element of politics in some of the budget that goes on in Trenton, but you would hope that we draw the line at some point where there's a public safety issue, and this is a public safety issue. We don't want to have trucks coming out of the warehouses and the county facilities along Roycefield and Dukes. It would be much easier and safer if those vehicles traveled on Brown Road right out to 206. There is a bit of a I don't want to say cat fight, but certainly a little bit of a fight in Trenton amongst the governor and the Senate president, both of the same party, around getting this funded. The amounts are in the budget. The governor simply needs to release the money. So we're calling on him to allow that money to be released to the DOT so we can get that project started in conjunction with the county and have that road completed. So we hope that they'll put this little bit of silliness behind them and do what's right and get this money released so we can do some public good here. Finally, as always, you can stay connected on all the things I just talked about or any of us just talked about via our Friday e-newsletter or Twitter. We have TV 29 and the Hillsborough YouTube channels, which showcase these meetings as well as the Hillsborough The Good Life episodes. And we also have Hillsborough alerts for traffic and emergency notifications. So lots of ways to stay connected for anyone that wants to know what's going on in town. But we appreciate you coming in and hearing it directly from us, for those of you that are here. Now we're going to move on to our proclamations. We do ask that after you receive your proclamation, if you would please return to your seat. We will have a brief pause after all the recipients have received their proclamations. This will allow for an orderly departure and give everyone an opportunity to have their recognition in quiet. So first up, I'm going to ask Aritra Banerjee to come up. She was in the elite group of the top 50 national finalists in the script spelling bee.
Can we use him for spell checking?
So Aritra Banerjee represented Somerset County, New Jersey in the Scripps National Spelling Bee in Washington, D.C., making it to the elite group of top 50 national finalists and ranked 17th. Aritra was a winner of the Alton Road Intermediate Spelling Bee in 2019 and then represented his school and won the Somerset County Library System of New Jersey's 4th Annual Spectacular Spelling Bee. He serves as an example to the youth of Hillsborough Township through his achievements, and we are very proud that he is a member of our community. And the Hillsborough Township Committee recognizes and extends our sincere congratulations to Aritra for having succeeded to the elite group of the top 50 national finalists in the Scripps Spelling Bee, National Spelling Bee, an honor for both him and for those who have guided him, and we wish him all the best in his future endeavors. Congratulations.
So, as a spelling bee contestant, I can say that the spelling bee has taught me many valuable lessons that will stay with me for the rest of my life, beyond just spelling word after word. For example, the spelling bee is so important because it promotes the use of language. Without language, we would not be able to communicate very well, and that would not be very good. And so I'd like to, but without certain people, I would not have been able to do so well in the spelling bee. And so I'd like to thank my family, my friends, my relatives, my school, On-Road Intermediate School, for all their support. And I would like to thank the mayor and the township committee for recognizing me today. Thank you.
I got the word wrong.
Mom, Dad, come on up, come on up.
Spell I.
I was very good. Not that good.
Next year. Okay. Good job. Okay, can I call up Joanne McVeigh? This is where I get to say that not all heroes wear capes. Joanne McVeigh, a Hillsborough resident, became a hometown hero by saving lives of all household members in a fire on December 30th of 2018. As a tenant living in the upstairs unit of a detached garage of the Manfredi residence, Joanne woke up at 12:45 a.m. and observed walls of flame outside her window against the garage. She began screaming, "Fire, get out," and pounding on all the walls. She woke up the individuals sleeping on the first floor bedrooms and then proceeded upstairs to wake the remainder of the Manfredi family. All 9 individuals, including children ages 4, 5, 12, and 16, safely exited the house prior to the smoke alarm sounding or the fire department arriving, at which time the garage and the upstairs unit had become completely engulfed in flames. Joanne McVeigh serves as an example to the residents of Hillsborough through her courage and fast actions. The Hillsborough Township Committee recognizes and commends Joanne McVeigh for her bravery in saving the 9 individuals from the devastating fire and for the honor she has brought to herself, the Manfredi family, and to our entire community. Thank you very much for your heroism and your quick action.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and the Township Committee very much for this honor. Oh, Mike, hold the button. No, can you hear me? No.
Use your fire voice.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for this honor and the Township Committee for bestowing this honor upon me. Upon thinking about this, I went to Bartlett's quotations in the Oxford Dictionary of Quotes to find one that I thought would most appropriately sum up my attitude towards what transpired. And the one that I came up with was from John F. Kennedy, who, when he was asked, how did he become a hero, he said, "It wasn't voluntary, they sank my boat." This was also not voluntary. My home was on fire. And I'm hoping not to have any more involuntary experiences such as this again. But I do appreciate the honor. I would also like to, at this time, thank both the Red Cross and Amy Chessman for putting together a go-to with the fund, and all the generosity of all the Hillsborough residents who contributed to that fund. And lastly, I would like to say my heroes in all of this are the 3 children who survived the fire that night. 4-year-old Jace, 5-year-old Cameron, now 5 and 6, and 12-year-old Samantha Manfredi, who are here. They're an example to the testament of resiliency and coping ability. They have moved forward, as we all will, from the memories of that terrible night. Once again, thank you all.
Frank.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do one quick, and then we'll do one with everybody.
Absolutely. Yep.
Darren, this is now 6-year-old Cameron. My bud. Say hi to the mayor. And there it is.
It's always the tall one in the back.
Reload.
And can I call up Shweta Kumar? Shweta Kumar, a junior at Hillsborough High School and a member of Girl Scout Troop 60786, has earned her Gold Award. Her Gold Award project involved organizing a 4-week program at the Hillsborough Public Library with 15 5th to 8th graders, teaching them to code in HTML and CSS. Each student created their own web page. She spent a total of 82 hours to complete the project with the assistance of 5 to 6 individuals. She is a member of the National Honor Society and the Spanish Honor Society. She is president of the Computer Programming Club's web page design sector, a member of the math team and physics team, participated in the Johnson & Johnson Technology Awareness Program, and was selected for the Governor's STEM program. She has volunteered at the Hillsborough YMCA to help students with their homework and art, and has also volunteered over 100 hours at the Liberty Science Center. The Hillsborough Township Committee recognizes and extends our sincere congratulations to Shweta for having earned her Girl Scout Gold Award, an honor for both her and for those who have guided her, and we wish her all the best in her future endeavors. Congratulations, that's quite some resume right there.
I would like to thank the mayor and the township committee for presenting me with this award, and I would like to take a moment to summarize my project and what inspired me to do it. When I was first in my computer science class at Hillsborough High School, I realized that there were a lot of students taking the class, but not as many that wanted to pursue computer science in the future. And because of this, I felt inspired to make the unapproachableness of STEM, especially computer science, more approachable. And I felt that the best students to target were those who were younger, and that's why I conducted this program at the library. After the program, I took a survey, and I'm thrilled to announce that all the students felt more eager to pursue it in high school and hopefully even more in college. I would also like to thank the Girl Scout organization for giving me the opportunity to have this project and make an impact on my community, and I would like to continue making impacts on my community. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you and congratulations to all of our recipients this evening.
Mike died.
We are going to take a quick break. I'll allow you to leave if you'd like to. Thank you for all, that we're here to support our recipients, and we'll reconvene our meeting in just a couple of minutes. Okay, we have no new business this evening, but before we move to public comment, with the consent of the Township Committee, I would like to move a couple of items up from the consent agenda to this point on the agenda. That would be items 3 through 8 on the consent agenda. Do we need a motion? Or?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So item 3 is a resolution which will, for the promotion of Lieutenant Mike McMahon to the position of Hillsborough Township Chief of Police. Congratulations to Lieutenant McMahon. His appointment will take effect on August the 1st. We have in the back of the room there our current and future chiefs. Chief Powell will be retiring and leaving us shortly. He will be missed, but we are looking forward to the opportunity to swear Lieutenant McMahon in, soon to be chief. So I look forward to that. We also have item 4, which is the providing permanent employment status to Officer Tyler Ott. Resolution number 5 is a resolution authorizing the hiring of Patty Denunciaga. I should have. I made fun of Dave for not knowing. So, as admin assistant to the Business Advocate and Sustainability Office. Resolution number 6 is the authorizing the hiring of Lee Santaromita as a full-time administrative assistant in the Social Services Department, and the resolution authorizing the hiring of Eva Hewitt to the position of Planning and Zoning Clerk. I'm sorry, and number 8 is a resolution authorizing retaining Matthew Presley as a part-time electrical inspector until his replacement is hired. So these were all HR employment-related matters. I wanted to move them up on the agenda so we could we have a number of the people here to identify them and get them up here on the agenda. So any comments from the dais on items 3 through 8?
I'll just do Anthony's thing since he's not here. It's always good to, as he would say, to hire within, and all these employees are valuable employees within the administration here and are just moving to other offices, and their performance in their past jobs are going to be missed, but as they move on to other avenues, I'm sure their talents will be utilized in a much better fashion, and congratulations, and thank you.
Mayor, I'll just add, it's been an honor to work with our chief over the last couple of years. He is extremely dedicated. It'll be very sad to see him leave the township. I look forward to see what he does in the future, but we've been well served as having our 5th police officer being, our police chief being Darren Powell. We're very blessed in this municipality to have him. Lieutenant, you've got extremely big shoes to fill, and you know that. But I'm sure that you're extremely capable, and I'm glad you're going to be our 6th chief for Hillsborough. So congratulations to both of you, and to everyone else on the agenda tonight.
Anything else from the dais? I echo those sentiments. All the those that are taking on new roles, thank you for your support of the township, your willingness to work here and take on new roles. Learn new things, and be a support to the things that we aspire to do here in Hillsborough. And Chief Powell will have the opportunity to say all of our thank yous to you at a future meeting, but we'll have you back relatively soon. And Lieutenant McMahon, it's going to be he's going to be great. So look forward to, as Deputy Mayor noted, our new 6th chief. So any comments from the floor on any of those items? Okay, with that, roll call, please.
I need a motion, sir.
Motion?
Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Committeewoman Holmes.
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani.
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley.
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson.
Yes, congratulations, everyone.
And Mayor Delcor.
Yes. Congratulations all. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our regular portion of the...
Yeah, they can leave if they want, right?
No, I'm going to make them stay. No. Thank you. We moved it up so you wouldn't have to stay for the entire meeting if you didn't want. So if you're certainly welcome to
Go home.
To head
You're
home
long
if you
enough.
like. We've taken up your time today.
Yeah. Leave.
All right, with that, we're going to go back to the normal part of our agenda, which is now public comment on new business and matters that are not on the agenda. If anyone has a comment they'd like to make on anything that's not on tonight's agenda, now's the time to come forward. Please state your name and address for the record.
Merrill Bisberg, 4 Hickory Hill Road. Township Committee meeting minutes section on the Township website hasn't been updated since February, even though I noticed that the minutes are voted on and approved at every meeting. And I think tonight you approved May 26th or something. So is there a reason that we're only up to February?
I'm sorry, you said
The
the minutes aren't
ta-
updated on the website?
Yeah, they're only up to February 26th.
I will look into that first thing tomorrow morning.
Thank you. The agenda provides very little detail about the agenda items. Placing this material in printed copy at the meeting itself does not allow enough time for the public to review it before the committee acts. I think Susan Gulliford brought this up at the last meeting. This kind of interferes with the public's ability to comment thoughtfully. Ordinances, resolutions for consideration, and consent on the agenda, and the contents of the bill list should all be on the website prior to the date of the Township Committee meeting, even if it's only 24 hours or 48 hours, just something so somebody can look at it right before. This was raised by Mrs. Gulliford at the last meeting because people are asking where they can get more information so that they know what questions to ask if they come to a meeting, or even if they should come at all. At the very least, all contract approvals, whether on the consent agenda or in an ordinance, should specify a term and cost, and all personnel actions should include a start date and salary. I don't know if you want to comment on this now, or I can just continue. Okay. Consent agendas should not have 20 items lumped together. Personnel items should be separated, and I noticed you did that tonight, so.
You're welcome.
My suggestion is that's the way we go about it, so that the people who are hired don't have to go through all the items. Major items which have a financial impact, such as the budget approval, property tax exemptions, et cetera, should also be separated. It's really hard for the public to process 20 things that may not all be related, and to know when to comment. Bill lists and details should be included in the minutes of all meetings because you vote on them. So these are all my suggestions or requests. If you'd like to comment, feel free.
No comment. Thank you. Noted.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the floor? Okay, we're going to move on to public hearing. First up tonight, we have public hearing 2019-11, which is an ordinance to exceed the 2019 municipal budget appropriations limit and to establish a cap bank. As indicated when this ordinance was introduced, under state budget law, the unused portion of the appropriations cap, which is different than the tax levy, may be reserved to be available in the next 2 years. Each year since 2002, Hillsborough has been able to reserve some funds in the cap bank, but should be noted the cap bank does not have any impact on taxes. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance 2019-11?
So move, Mayor?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any discussion from the dais? Any discussion from the floor? Okay, can I have a motion to close the public hearing and adopt ordinance 2019-11?
So move, Mayor?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes?
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
And Mayor Delcor?
Yes. We'll move to the introduction of new ordinances. Ordinance 2019-12 is an ordinance of the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough granting a long-term tax abatement to Concord Street Urban Renewal Associates LP for a residential affordable housing project on property described herein, and authorizing the mayor to sign a financial agreement with Concord Street Urban Renewal Associates LP. Further consideration of this ordinance and a public hearing will be held on August 13, 2019. This ordinance will grant a long-term tax abatement to Concord Street Urban Renewal Associates to support the development of Phase 1 affordable housing project on property which is commonly referred to here as the Sherman Tract. The tax abatement is one part of the financing plan that includes funding from the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency, the Federal Home Loan Bank of New York, and the Township's Affordable Housing Trust Fund. The details of the tax abatement are provided in the financial agreement to be executed between the Township and Concord. I should also note that the tax abatement here, really the function of it is to help promote and provide adequate funding to allow this 100% affordable project, which is part of our affordable planning, to be able to move forward. As noted, there are other elements that the developer will be using to help fund the project, but should we go ahead and have or should the developer have the tax incentives approved through those various agencies. That will be an additional piece that would be used to fund the project so that we can complete the affordable portion of the affordable plan that we're currently working on. So, with that, may I have a motion to introduce the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments from the dais?
I'm going to reserve my comments.
Any comments from the floor? Okay, roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes?
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley?
Yes?
Excuse me, Deputy Mayor Thompson?
Yes, but still holding out hope that Trenton will come through and eventually provide us some relief for affordable housing.
There's always that hope.
And Mayor Delcor?
Yes. We'll move to 2019-13, an ordinance amending the salary ordinance to include the position of a public works foreman and setting forth the salary. Further consideration of this ordinance and a public hearing will be held on August the 13th of 2019. So there exists a need for the position of foreman within the Public Works Department. This is something that through some organizational planning we've come to realize need a sort of a middle manager level within that organization. And this ordinance establishes that position and also establishes the salary level that would be set for that position. May I have a motion to introduce the ordinance?
So moved.
Second?
Any comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor?
I would just add, Mayor, that this is part of the plan of educating and filling the backs of our DPW as far as training, so that we have succession plan for as people move up the ladder are trained in management and leadership. So this position adds another layer of that so that we are able to promote from within as we escalate up the ranks in the future.
Thank you. Anything else from the dais? Any comments from the floor? Okay, roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes?
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
And Mayor Delcor?
Yes. And ordinance 2019-14 is an ordinance amending Chapter 143, which is Vehicles and Traffic, Article 12, Schedules, Section 14342.1, Schedule 13A, mid-block crosswalks of the Township Code of Hillsborough Township, Somerset County, State of New Jersey, and a further consideration of this ordinance and a public hearing will be held on August 13th of 2019. There's a need for a mid-block crosswalk on South Triangle Road. The Chief of Police has recommended the mid-block crosswalk be placed 1,150 feet south of Triangle Road on the north side of Triangle Elementary School on that South Triangle Road, which is for pedestrian safety. Of course, as we go through the process of paving that road, the crosswalk would be implemented after the road paving, but this is to allow for safety crossing of South Triangle Road. So may I have a motion to introduce this ordinance?
So moved.
Second?
Any comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes?
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
And Mayor Delcor?
Yes. So we are now going to move on to our resolutions. Just as a reminder, we have already covered items 3 through 8. So what we're looking at is items 1, 2, and then 9 through 22. Are there any items or anyone on the dais wish to take any of the items separately on the consent agenda?
Mayor, I'd like to take agenda items on the consent agenda, numbers 1 and 2, separately.
Can I have a second?
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 All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So items 1 and 2, these are related to the municipal budget. Item 1, the resolution authorizes the Township Committee to move forward with the adoption of the 2019 municipal budget without reading each individual line item. The budget that we have introduced here, once again, has come in below the 2% tax levy. In fact, we've actually, once again, seen a decrease in the tax rate, which will be implemented as part of this budget. Since the introduction of the 2011 budget, we have consistently stayed below the 2% cap, and by staying below the cap, instead of going all the way to the cap of what we could have, there's about $194,000 of tax levy that we've been able to avoid under the tax levy. It's important to note, as I said, that the municipal portion of the tax bill, assuming that your assessed value does not change, you will see a decrease as a result of the reduction in the tax rate as a result of the budget. I would like to thank all of those that worked on the budget, Committeeman Lapani, our CFO, Nancy Costa, and her staff, putting this together, Administrator Ferreira, and Clerk Borak for their work here, and of course all the input from the employees and the Township Committee. So any comments from the dais on items 1 and 2?
Mayor, I just want to briefly maybe highlight some of the, since those possibly who weren't here for the reading, some of the highlights of this year's budget. As you mentioned, this year the tax levy has dropped from 0.325 to 0.320. Obviously, that's a decrease in tax rate, and as the mayor stated, if you have no excess value increase, you'll have a decrease in your tax. In doing so, we were still able to increase the capital from $570,000 to $600,000 for needed projects around the town, which will be introduced later once the budget is established. And also that bonding for the paving of the roads, which you mentioned earlier this year. So that was all able to be done. A topic that has been brought to our attention over the years is when we're also able to take down on Willow Road, all the baseball fences from the abandoned baseball field, so that will all be done under this budget. We did this without any increase from state aid from the state of New Jersey, as usual. You did mention that we stayed under the 2% cap again, and we were also increasing payments to our debt service above the required minimum. So we're also paying our debt down faster than we need to. All that being said, that we are providing services to the township, a tax decrease, and again, we'd like to thank Nancy and all the administrator, Anthony, who's not here, and all our public works and every supervisor that has looked for grants to save money, and also ways of shared services, and just always looking forward to the taxpayer to provide the best bang for the dollar. And again, thank you for that opportunity to be part of it, Mayor. And I am encouraged, as my first time being a member of this undertask, to see the continued good work that this township does to be responsible and earn the rating that we do have with the county. And I'd like to thank my fellow members here for a good job over the years, and look forward to continuing in the future. Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor? I have
Yes.
one comment. I'm really excited that the budget covers us getting to go paperless. You know, in Pam's office and all around. We're already paperless on the dais, and we're going to in-house mapping instead of outsourcing it, and all that will be saving us some money too in the long run. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Mayor, just one quick comment. I think for the first time in 50 years, Carl Sirachi's not up here. So I have to make mention of the energy tax receipts that he always enjoyed mentioning the fact that since the early 90s, both Republican and Democrat governors and legislatures has slowly taken away the energy tax receipts, which we receive as sort of a payment for where utilities go through our municipality. They have been held flat for numerous decades now, and quite frankly, it's our money, for the municipality, and it's literally billions of dollars that should have flowed back to municipalities over the decades, and which would have really provided meaningful property tax relief to residents here in the state. And I encourage one day that the legislature fully gives in and adds that money back to property tax relief for the municipalities. So I'm sure Carl's happy.
Ode to Carl.
That's my job for Carl.
Similar to before, we can always hope.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true.
Okay, anything else from the dais? Any comments from the floor?
Hi, my name is John Biggio. I live at 62
John.
Peterson Road.
Gotta raise
No, he's got to raise it a little bit.
Okay, once again, my name is John Biggio. I live at 62 Peterson Road. I have not working still? Okay, talk louder, okay.
Next to the
John
microphone.
Biggio, 62 Peterson Road.
Got it.
Hi, John.
Hi. I just have a few questions about the budget. In the budget, there's a contribution from the MUA for $175,000. It's my understanding that the MUA is a separate authority, which Hillsborough residents make payments to. I know that because I make one of those payments. I'd like to know, why is the MUA paying the township or contributing to the township?
So as a sort of quasi-government agency, the MUA, who obviously supports the sewer systems in the town, there's statute that allows for, as the agencies such as the MUA, as they develop surplus over time, there's a mechanism to bring that back to the municipal budget, which is what that represents.
Okay. I see that there's audit services. This is on sheet 13, if anybody wants to refer to it. Audit services for $87,000. I just wanted to understand what that was for. Are these beyond our normal annual audit expense?
I'm assuming is that our auditors?
Yes, that's our independent auditor, Suppley Clooney. That includes the annual audit, which is done, the assistance in preparation of the annual financial statement, the annual debt statement, as well as the oversight over the budget. Once the budget is prepared, it does go to the auditing firm for their final. They make sure that we've got everything the way we need it, that we're paying our debt properly, that everything balances. So it's an all-encompassing cost. It's more than just the audit. It's all the financial services of the town throughout the year.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I noticed that on sheet 16, the salaries for the building inspections were going up by $45,000, while the revenue of the uniform construction code fees are going down by $400,000. Normally, don't these things balance themselves out? We should be paying fees for the services that the building department provides us? Just wondering what the disparity is.
So there was the process kind of leveled itself out in terms of construction fees. We had a big spike and then a reduction, so that the last year's budget was based upon the prior year.
Right.
This year is based upon where we were last year. We're kind of probably somewhere in the middle of that.
Okay.
But that represents that up and down from a one-year spike that we had back.
Adjustments to, okay,
Correct, yeah. It's just how we account for the revenue from the construction fees.
gotcha. This is on, it's on 10?
You say 10?
Yeah, sheet 10.
I'm trying to keep up with you.
There's $734,000 in payments of bond principal and $479,000 payment of bond anticipated notes. I wanted to understand the borrowing of what amount that represented.
What the debt amount associated with
Yeah.
that is, I'd have to look. I don't know that number off the top of my head. Nancy, do you have the
Yeah.
debt statement?
The township has two different kinds of borrowing. We have long-term, and then we have short-term, which would be the bond, the bond anticipation notes. Our long-term financing goes back to long-term debt for open space bonds, as well as some long-term financing that the township did as a conglomerate. That debt will be paid off in 2021. So a piece of that debt service is for open space, and if you look at the revenue section of the budget, you'll see money coming in from open space to offset the money that we're paying on open space's behalf for their bonds. And then a smaller piece of that pertains to the township. The second piece are the bond anticipation notes. A piece of that would be for the $4 million that we did a bond anticipation note for this year to help with the roads. And that is at the maximum, a 10-year plan. And because of the way that we pay off our bond anticipation notes, as Committeeman LaPani said, we pay off faster than we legally are required to. The hope is to have those notes paid off before the 10 years are up, and that way we would never have to do long-term permanent financing on them. So that's what makes up those two attributes.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Any other comments from the floor? Tippy toes, tippy toes.
Joseph P. Maloney, 27 Stonewood Drive, Hillsborough, New Jersey. Just a simple question relating back to January's meeting where salaries were approved. Just want to know what the criteria is for the pay increases. I noticed that there's a discrepancy between the percentages that some employees got and other employees got. So just like a brief explanation as to what the criteria is for a raise.
It's a couple things. So most of the employees are covered under some type of collective bargaining. So their rates are their rate of increases tends to be fixed. But we also do, that doesn't cover all employees. There are management levels, obviously. So we also look at trying to do some cost of living. But most of what you are referring to there was items that we take a look at, essentially where our key personnel, some of our management level, some of our mid-level managers, where they compare to some of their peers in surrounding communities to make sure that we're competitive in terms of what we're offering from a salary perspective. So we try to benchmark against some of the local municipalities. If we see that there's a discrepancy, if there's an opportunity and for certain employees, we will look to make that adjustment. Anything else from the floor?
That is very true. We don't get anywhere near there.
Oh, sorry.
Roadie up.
Just kidding.
Merrill Bisfer, 4 Hickory Hill Road. Just going back to the MUA. We have a lot of building coming up in town, so if there were a reserve that money could be taken from, shouldn't it either be saved for, what could come up in terms of sewage requirements for the township, or given back to the taxpayers?
Yeah, so it's not so much that it's a depletion of surplus. There's a statute that indicates, when surplus reaches a certain amount that can be returned back to the municipality. So that's what that represents. It's not a full depletion of the and we need to make sure that you're 100% right that we've got enough runway to make sure that the MUA can provide their service.
Okay, and I believe that it's kind of related, that the surplus for the municipality is going to $2.35 million in this budget. So that's higher than last year. It's about 7% of the budget. Is this normal for reserve, and could there be tax?
You mean how much we're using of the reserve, or how much we're retaining?
No, how much you're allocating for next year versus how much you had for this year. I don't know how much you use
we're
this year.
usually somewhere between 2 and 2.3. use of surplus?
Okay. All right, and then, okay, another issue. The legal fees, I think, are about $150K for salary for legal fees and about $91,000 for outside services. But every time we go through every time January happens during reorg, there's a max of $50,000 that can be allocated for legal fees, and then we have to keep re-upping for $50,000 at a time. Is that something that's required, because we always far surpass that?
Well, yeah, if we can get Trenton to not require us to do affordable housing, Mr. Bernstein won't be happy, but I think we would be from a budget perspective. But there's always things that we're required to do, so we try to set it at a level that we're comfortable with, but recognizing that if we have to make adjustments, we have to make sure that we've got enough wiggle in the budget to allow us to do that, because there are certain things that we have to be able to do, and legal is an evil, a necessary evil that we have to unfortunately take care of.
Dr. Evil over there? Thank you for adding necessary.
And we got both of them up here today, so I made no friends this evening.
So, you know, okay, so there are also some, I guess, revenue items, or I guess some are on the revenue side and some are on the expense side, that I think would have come in or gone out last year and this year. And I don't know, maybe they're in dedicated funds and they're not reflected in the budget, but I don't see where the pilots are in the revenue. Do those come in?
Well, that would just be in, Nancy, I don't know where they show.
The revenues from the pilots are just included in the taxes, and the taxes collected. They're not shown separately.
Okay. What about donations to the Affordable Housing Fund from developers?
Those are not part of municipal budget. Those are collected and kept in a trust fund specifically for affordable housing and COA, 100% segregated from any other fund that the municipality has.
So we can't commingle them with anything else. That's got to be completely separate, and it doesn't flow through the budget process.
Okay, understood. I would just suggest that pilots should be itemized, because it's a payment in taxes.
It's part of tax payments.
Instead of just showing as collection. It's not taxes, so.
Correct. It is, however, billed, it's calculated by the assessor and myself and billed with an actual tax bill. That's why it just kind of rolls in that way, but we could certainly look into at least showing it separately on the two line items, absolutely.
And then where is the payment on the Apex lease, the payment out from the township to Apex, is that shown?
It's not shown because they don't have a certificate of occupancy yet.
Yeah.
So therefore,
Those payments haven't come in.
none of the financial arrangements with them would have hit the budget this year because the project is not completed. So it would be improper to either look at the revenues or expenses involved in that right now when they're not even functioning yet.
Okay, so, but it will be shown?
It would be shown in a future budget, absolutely.
And then also revenue for the tree mitigation fund, I'm not sure that's what it's called, but the payment that is made when two trees are removed. Does that come through the budget?
Tree mitigation is kept in a miscellaneous trust fund by itself, accounted for 100% alone. You could see the revenues in, the expenses out for tree mitigation as well. That is kept separately from the budget outside. Just as the escrow accounts are in a separate account, the affordable housing in a separate account, recreation funds are all in separate accounts.
Okay, so we can make inquiries about that?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Anything else from the floor? Okay, seeing none, I guess any other comments from the dais on consent items 1 and 2 related to the municipal budget?
Nope, it's outstanding budget.
Okay, can I have a motion then to adopt resolutions 1, which is a resolution authorizing the 2019 municipal budget to be read by title only, and resolution number 2, which is a resolution adopting the 2019 municipal budget?
Mayor, we're going to do each one separately, one separate and then 2 separate, okay?
Okay, can I have a motion then to approve number 1, which is the authorizing the 2019 municipal budget to be read by title only?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Holmes?
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Delcor?
Yes. And number 2, which is a resolution adopting the 2019 municipal budget.
So moved, Mayor?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes?
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Delcor?
Yes. So now we will move on to items 9 through 22. I would like to just highlight one item, which is number 14, which is a spending plan resolution. The state requires the township to adopt an affordable housing trust fund spending plan that outlines how the trust fund will be distributed among the various projects that we will be undertaking as part of our affordable plan. This resolution amends the current spending plan to include the Sherman project, which we talked about earlier, and authorizes the submission of the amended plan that would go to the court for approval. So this is simply to amend the Affordable Trust Fund to include what would ultimately be spent for the Sherman property out of the trust fund. So may I have a motion to approve then resolutions 8 through 14?
So move, Mayor?
I'm sorry, it's
Are
9
you
through
22?
22.
I'm sorry, 9 through
9 through
14.
20.
9 through 20.
Can I have a motion to approve
rest
items
of the
9
agenda.
through 22?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor on any of those items? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes?
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
And Mayor Delcor?
Yes. We're going to move on to claims list. May I have a motion to approve claims list 2019-22?
So moved.
Second?
Any comments from the dais? Any comments from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes?
Yes.
Take a minute?
Excuse me. Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Delcor?
Yes. This concludes our regular meeting. We do have an executive session this evening. Maybe Ms. Bork will be able to read that executive resolution.
If not, my assistant to my left will. Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the Township Committee is of the opinion that such circumstances exist, now therefore be resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough in the County of Somerset, State of New Jersey as follows. The public shall be excluded from the discussion of the hereinafter specified subject matters. Number 2, the general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows. Property acquisition, potential litigation, 2233 Madison Avenue. Number 3, the Township Committee may take official action on those items discussed in the executive session upon the completion of the executive session. Number 4, the minutes of those discussions shall be made available to the public as soon as the matters under discussion are no longer of confidential or sensitive nature. Number 5, this resolution take effect immediately.
Thank you. May I have a motion, please?
So move, Mayor?
Second.
Any comments from the dais on the executive resolution? Any comments from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Holmes?
Yes.
Committeeman Lapani?
Yes.
Committeewoman McCauley?
Yes?
Deputy Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Delcor?
Yes. Thank you. Good night. That concludes our meeting for this evening. We're going to go into executive session. Good night.
I know, you're so lucky.